But man, how are you? How you doing? I shared we didn't take the same red eye, but I shared that experience with you in the sky. What a
I
brutal thing.
always forget how quickly after a show ends that everyone just leaves, the thing's over, we're like it's done. Like the second it hits 5 o'clock, done.
Yep.
Packing up, everybody leaves. I usually with Expo West, there's like people around. I want to decompress a bit, so like I'll stay a little bit longer. But for this one, I kind of wish I took an earlier flight home. Would have been nice.
I mean, people were at like 3 o'clock. People were
Hmm.
packing things up. I was like, man,
No, it was emptying out a
they're
little bit
getting out of
faster
there.
than
Yeah,
previous shows. Well, there's
yeah,
also like, while there were samples, it wasn't like an Expo West where there's
right.
just. Also, Expo West has so many more people and you like want to hit everything. So you like make the most out of the time you have.
Yeah. Did you? So I took I don't have it anymore, obviously, but I took Momentous. Well, I took their sleep
The
aid.
sleep one. So
Yeah. Did
I
you do it?
took I took the Cherry Bundy liquid
Okay.
one because
Got
I was
it.
like, I didn't want the Momentous one had like what, like 6 pills in it. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't.
I just,
I'm
yeah.
just a baby. I can't handle that. So I took the liquid one. When I was waiting in line for the flight, it hit me. I was like, oh, okay, I'm out.
Nice, nice.
I slept for a bit. Wasn't great. I wish I had like another layer, something more comfortable,
I,
but
I've never wished a flight was longer, but I
yeah.
actually wish the flight was longer because I got like 2 hours of sleep. It was like a 3-ish hour flight. So it's impossible to like, even if you maximize those 3.5 hours, you're never, like, it's never going to happen. It's not enough sleep, but
Luckily, I had plenty of snacks to keep me over.
oh, nice. There you go. Did
Yeah.
you snack out? I couldn't. My stomach
Yeah.
was like,
I
I'm
had a
good.
bunch of Larissa's Kitchen turkey sticks.
Nice.
I had the whole bar, HOL.
I missed that one.
So it's a bar that has it, it's one of the many things, simple ingredients, but it also has bone broth in it. I
Mm,
think that was one of its shtick. I'm looking at a picture. I have my phone in front of me to like remember all these things. Yeah, so it's 20 grams of protein, whey protein, but then there was also bone broth and some other stuff in it. But it was very akin to an RX bar, similar texture, similar
mm.
consistency, um, better than an RX bar, but still that like chewy extrusion type bar.
Yeah, yeah. Man, speaking of, I mean, if we talk about the show, I think the first thing I tried was the sturdy sauce. Speaking
Yeah,
of protein, unbelievable, super good. But man, 80 grams of protein in one jar,
yeah,
160, I think, calories with 20 grams of protein in that, 160 calories for a half cup, which is insane.
yeah.
But I thought that was for me, that was one of the highlights. Just like I feel like protein is in everything these days, but I've yet to see it in sauce.
So I first had Sturdy at Expo West this past year. Also thought it was good. Also liked protein delivery in that format. I always like when you can like add protein in a way that's not necessarily adding like a piece of chicken to your
Hmm.
meal. Um, and I think that's sort of maybe the next step. I mean, She's the Sauce just launched, which is a high protein sauce company. So like ranch and I think
Mm.
a honey mustard is their other
Oh,
one. I
super
forgot their other
interesting.
SKU, but it's like a couple grams of protein per serving. Um, which it's not protein maxing, but
Hmm.
it's not nothing.
Because Sturdy gets the protein from where are they getting their protein?
I think
Is
bone
it
it
bone
would
broth
it
as
has to
well?
be bone
Yeah,
broth. If
right?
you're gonna maintain a flavor
Yeah.
and have that consistency match, bone
So
broth.
smart.
Like if
Yeah.
I was making, which I have done, I have made high protein sauce before, bone broth. Such an easy
Yeah.
way to add protein
Yeah.
to
Bone broth,
a.
yeah, whey protein. I'm looking at it.
Oh, it's
Collagen,
got
whey, and bone broth isolate.
collagen whey. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder, and I was talking with Jenna about this because we've come across a lot of different protein products, but I think one thing that I have not done a lot of research in, but I have seen other people talk about is the efficacy of the protein and the actual like bioavailability of said protein.
Right,
Because like
right.
just because it says it has a bunch of protein doesn't necessarily mean it's as bioavailable for you. But also, I'm not a scientist. I
Most people aren't.
Most people
If they're
aren't,
if
so
they're
like
eating if they're eating sturdy sauce, probably not, but maybe.
no. And I think, sturdy sauce is definitely something like you could replicate at home in a
Which to
capacity.
me, those are some of the best products
Exactly. I
because
mean
you're
that,
not, yeah, because
yeah,
you're buying it because you're like, I don't have the time to do this.
right. And the cost like level of it is not crazy. Like
Right.
there's a reason, you can't see it, but up there I have so many different tomato sauces and it's like, yeah, I could make tomato sauce of my own, but it's also a couple bucks
Hmm.
and tastes just as good. So it's like it's
Yeah.
not, I don't know, it doesn't feel as crazy. And I think the conveniency of it outweighs a lot of like any other issues with it.
You know, that reminds me of this. One
That
of
was good.
my favorite highlights from the show because I had never had, I don't think I've ever had a packaged peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What do you
Uh,
mean? You've never
yeah,
had
I've never had.
Uncrustables?
No,
Chubby
no.
snacks before they went under? Nothing?
Maybe, but I don't,
It's
no
so good.
memory. Yeah. So I was so impressed.
Yeah.
So impressed. But I thought the story with Justin was super cool.
Oh, I missed that piece.
So yeah, Justin is from Justin's, the peanut butter company, is Lee's innovation for Rudy's.
Yes.
And they've just decided to start getting Justin's peanut butter into these sandwiches and actually promote it as like a brand collaboration. So all the packaging had um the Justin's jar on them. You could see it here
Yeah, it makes
on
sense.
there. But I was like, that's super cool and super delicious. I brought one home for my wife. She's already had one. She gave one to my 2-year-old and Milo, and he took like a bite, and then she's like, "All right, I'll eat it." And she's like, "So good."
No, it's good. Rudy's also has really good frozen Texas toast.
I've heard from them. Yeah.
They have really good gluten-free products, and this is a trend I've noticed over the past few years. Mostly at the bigger shows. I think it was less of a thing at this show, or maybe it's just become um, very very normal. Is like better gluten-free products just across the board, where
Hmm.
either you wouldn't know it's gluten-free, or you might know it's gluten-free, but it's still good. And I think
Yeah.
Rudy's really fits into that. Like their Texas toast, I wouldn't have known it was not gluten-free if you
Yeah,
didn't
for
tell me.
sure. Some woman came like over to me. I can't remember why, but raving about this because it's gluten free and just talking about how good it was. And I was like, awesome. Like she's gluten free. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's great. It's great. But what'd you think of the show? I mean, we've both been to a bunch of these shows. I think the last one for me was Fancy Food.
Yeah.
This was definitely smaller. Like
Much smaller.
you could walk in and like see the whole show. But to me, I was like, I enjoyed just like not the pressure to rush around the
Right.
floor and just kind of spend time with people. But yeah, what did you think?
I agree with that. I thought it was really intimate. I thought it was easy to get around. One of the things I really liked was how every booth, except like maybe like two, were the same. Like
Hmm.
same exact size. They had clearly the same like table and backdrop, obviously branded to their brand, but the table and backdrop were pretty much standard across the
Hmm.
board, which I thought was really good. The aisles were really big, so it didn't feel like you were just like bumping into every person. You could actually go and talk to everybody, which I thought was really nice. Like it was nice to be able to have full conversations with people, and not feel like you're constantly being dragged away to go see that booth you needed to go see because it's halfway across the world and two floors down.
Yeah, totally agree. I also felt like, what did you think of I was surprised to see the mix of brands because you'd be talking to someone that is like just starting
Yeah,
out, and then, you go over and there's Perfect Bar,
right. Or Noosa, which was
or
just
Noosa.
acquired.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool to see them all juxtaposed, but it was like kind of a wild mindset shift as you measure your way through. You're like talking to founder, then you're talking to like VP of innovation, you know?
Right. I think that's great. Like I think it makes it a much more level playing field. And I think because of the standardization of the booths, like you don't know necessarily like the next person you're talking to is a big brand. And I think that's better because then it puts everybody basically on the same level. Obviously, for your case, like the business you're talking about, your business talking about Barrel, it does change how you talk about it
Sure.
when you're
Yeah.
talking with like the VP of innovation or the CMO or the VP of ecom or whoever it is compared to just the founder and maybe the founder's friend. But I do think it was like kind of nice. I think it reduced a lot of the stress from like all sides, from the buyer side, from the
Hmm.
brand side. It was just like a little like it was fun. It was like talking to a bunch of your friends and trying a
Yeah,
bunch of
for sure.
products. It felt less competitive almost.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it was funny you said about friends. We worked with Vermont Smoking Cure for years a while
Mm,
back, and they were trying to get me to come over to try a meat stick. And I came over and I said, "Oh, we worked with you in the past." And I had already been by. And the
yeah.
woman who was at the booth was like a friend of someone who just came in to like finish out the day. She was a school teacher, like nothing to do with the show.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh, this is great." Exactly what you're saying. Like you've got this mix of people in there. I think people that are local to Denver too, just a lot easier to kind of
Oh
show up and do
yeah.
the show.
Yeah. I think so too. But I thought the show was good. I thought it was a good collection of brands. I do wish it was like a little bit bigger. I wish there was like another room, another floor, just like a smidge more. I actually really like the size of Expo East. Like Expo East wasn't huge, but it was bigger than this, maybe
Mm.
two times this. And like would have been nice to have like a little bit more to show off. But I thought it was a good show.
I don't actually know the story of how Expo East became Newtopia Now. I mean, I know that that's what happened, but do you have any
All
idea?
all I know is that the last Expo East, around like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., like the morning of the show, it was like right before it opened or right as it opened, they dropped a press release saying Expo East is no more. We're changing it to Newtopia Now. I think the idea was trying to focus more on like conscious brands,
Hmm.
from whether it's like regenerative or it's based off their packaging or their mission or whatever it is. I think they wanted like a more focused show, and I think the other thing too is like Expo West takes up so much brain capacity. It's
Hmm.
such a big show, it's such a big draw that like having I wonder if they thought that like Expo East like wasn't quite Expo West, but it wasn't quite anything below it. It was this like weird middle ground. And there are a lot of other shows that sort of fulfill Expo East. I mean, I think Fancy Food Show is one. Um, that's probably the one that like fulfills that need the most, but I don't really know fully why the transition happened because like it did feel
Yeah,
like
I never
another
heard
trade show.
anybody saying that any issues with it or anything. So it was odd to see it disappear.
I
And I actually never made it. And
yeah.
it was in Philadelphia a couple times, which funny now because I'm like, it's right here.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
personally like a fall show. I think that's kind of nice. Having this at the end of August is good. I mean, there was a good turnout, but I feel like it would have been better if it was maybe
Yeah,
not at the end of the summer.
it does get hard for people. I mean, everyone's traveling, especially like trying to make
Or
the most at
school
the
is
end of the
just starting.
summer.
Like,
School's just starting. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I saw you posted on LinkedIn with some trends.
yes, I
I feel
did
like this
post.
trends thing, I'm like, look, it's funny because a lot of the same brands are here.
I know.
And there's a lot of new ones. So I'm like,
It's also
any,
what like New Hope picks and who
yeah.
decides to go. And like
Yeah.
we were debating like, do we call regenerative a trend? And we're like, well, it was like a dedicated section. I don't know if I'd call that a trend necessarily
Yeah.
anymore. Like that's
Yeah.
it's hard. I also think trends are hard because usually when people start talking about trends, they're already somewhat established
Hmm.
or decisions have already been made against that idea. Like, I feel like it's hard to find a trend. We call them themes. We've decided like themes of the show. What did we see? Rather than like this is a trend. Because like,
Hmm.
is protein a trend? Well,
Yeah, I don't
no,
know.
it already happened.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's happening.
I think an upcoming trend, an upcoming theme might be like fiber. Like the inclusion of fiber is a thing that like we're not really seeing right now, but key brands are starting to do it and they're starting to incorporate it and they're starting to call it out and like a trend is bubbling. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I like themes better just because it's like it's what we saw at the show.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it kind of we talked about in our last chat. I think similarly, like non-alcoholic beer isn't going to go anywhere. So it's
yeah,
like, how many of these things are just signals of what, as a society, we're caring about and brands are listening or seeing issues with, and they're starting to think about.
right,
And then so like protein being one of them, that they then become like the new thing to achieve in a product,
right.
like cleaner ingredients. That's not a trend, I hope. Um, but that's a thing that everybody's like
Yeah.
thinking about.
And
Um,
I think too, it's like we get too riled up around like an ingredient or a type of product when like sometimes these trends or themes are just simply like what are people calling out on their packaging? Like it might be the
mhm.
same exact product, but like
That's true
now
too. Yeah.
now people are calling it something different out and they're trying to find a different angle to position their product. And I think we can think a little bit more nuanced about this stuff, which is what what I think Jen and I are trying to do, and we try to do when we talk about these like trends. And we don't want to just say what other people are saying. We want to say like, okay, what is a unique thing that we noticed, and like
Hmm.
maybe clean label everything is not that unique, but like that's something we noticed. Animal protein and byproducts are sort of finding their way into a lot of products. Dairy was another thing I feel like is sort of making a comeback, or even like lack of plant-based is also a thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
sure, there was Malk, there was Rooted. I think that's the plant-based cheese
Yeah, I think
company.
so.
There was two pecan milk companies. And that was kind of it. Like there wasn't in years past, I mean, I think every other booth would have been a new
Plant-based.
plant-based alt
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, there's still some of them, but they're not, yeah, they're not.
Sure.
There was a period there where turning everything plant-based was the move, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting you say that around clean label because I know you didn't get to try them. I was trying to get you to get
I
Love End
couldn't. Yeah.
cookies. Love End cookies was super interesting to me because they're really about creating a cookie that is just like baking it at home.
Yeah.
Butter and all those things. It's just high quality and it's clean in the sense that it's not, chemicals and other additives,
Right.
which I think is interesting. And I do think we're seeing more of that actually,
Yeah.
of like, I mean, look, we have tons of waters and beverages with tons of claims and things, but at the end of the day, like chocolate, we both
Yeah.
geek out over these guys.
Shout out Josh
Consistently
Moore.
incredible. Yeah. But like it's just chocolate.
Yeah.
It's like we're not it's plant-based. It is plant-based, but it's not like, oh,
Calling chocolate
there's
not
this
plant-based is insane.
yeah,
I mean, if it's not plant-based, it's
you probably shouldn't be eating it.
probably should be eating. No,
But yeah, I like that kind of revisiting of just like, hey, like you just said about the sauce, like you could make this at home, and that's
yeah.
actually great. Like
Yeah.
good, so like
Great.
buy that. Yeah.
I I actually think love and wait, love every
Love and cookies.
love and cookies. Love
Yeah.
every's something else.
The baby yeah, baby
That's it.
brand. Yeah.
But I saw a lot of this like love and cookies type of product where it's a bit indulgent, a bit maybe a bit sweet, a bit of a treat, but it's also like they've formulated it in a way where it doesn't have a lot of additives or it doesn't have a lot of, as I saw a lot of the at the show, no junk, no junk, whatever
Right.
that means. No
Yeah.
one could tell me what junk was. Um, but I think that's something that's like good. I like that it's not all geared towards like this is a healthy cookie. It's like this is a cookie that's better. Maybe it's not necessarily filled with like broccoli in it, but it's I think that's good. I think it's good. Like we
Yeah,
should have treats that are better, that are slightly healthier, maybe that are maybe dairy free or gluten free or free of additives or free of preservatives, but are still like an indulgent thing.
right. I
I
mean,
don't, yeah,
I do think it's funny, like if you meet someone who's like 80%, 80, 90% healthy eater,
yeah,
they actually want the indulgent products for the few times that they eat it, because
because it's
they're
good.
like, I don't want the healthier cookie. Like I'm eating healthy all the time. I just want a good cookie, you know?
This, I think this is something that like most of the country needs to get in their thick skull is like most of the time, like I just did a grocery order. I got romaine lettuce. Like I got whole foods and like my
Right.
meals I really want to be real. Let's call it real. My snacks and my treats, processed is fine. I'm not
Right.
like in,
Yeah.
it's fine with me. Like I think the meals should be the full picture of eating and the
Hmm.
snacks should be
Yeah, it's
a little
interesting. I
more
think
indulgent.
a lot of these are like crossing the line into supplements.
Yes.
Melting Forest, I had a bunch of well, I took some of their stuff. I've got the matcha here, matcha powder.
Oh, when I didn't
Uh,
realize they
yeah.
released that. I just thought they were the RTDs still.
Yeah, super cool. Like, look at the packaging. It's really cool.
Their branding is
Um,
really fun, which
but
I really appreciate.
I had the energy drink, which you witnessed. It freaking shot me through the air with energy. Oh my Lord. But a lot of these products, yeah, I mean, it does cross the line into supplements. Like this has, L-theanine, rhodiola, seven functional mushrooms. It's an active. It's like, is this a matcha drink or just a supplement at that point?
Right. And I'm always curious um where most consumers sit in that bucket because like I have to imagine most people don't want to be presented as supplements. They want a matcha drink, and if it happens
Mhm.
to be a supplement, that's great.
Hmm.
But yeah, I notice this a lot. A lot of products have a lot of claims out there.
100%.
Makes you happy, makes you there was a soda that was like, this reduces your waist size. It's like, that's a bold claim.
Yeah,
This alone
seriously.
will reduce your waist size? Sure.
I didn't go over. There was something about GLP-1. There was a whole
Eh,
section about that. Did
I
you
missed
make
that
it
too.
there? Yeah,
No,
okay.
but there are a lot of products on the market now that are they're regular products. They're a cookie, they're a hydration powder, they're a protein powder, but they're formulated for consumers who use GLP-1. Then there's another side of products that are this is a GLP-1 product. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think those
Interesting.
are both interesting. Like one is they're both riding the same wave, but one is capturing an adjusted palate because of users using GLP-1, and the other one is for people who don't want to use GLP-1 but want a similar effect but from their food.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, I feel like that we're just getting started with that, to be honest.
Just getting started. I mean, over the next
We'll
couple of
probably be talking
years,
about that at Expo West, I imagine.
if Expo West, I have to imagine either they're going to have a GLP-1 section or there are going to be so many brands with
Yeah.
those call outs because that's something a lot of bigger brands are doing too. I mean, ConAgra's brands, a couple of them have like GLP-1 friendly call outs.
Hmm. It's yeah, super interesting. There's probably plenty of brands that don't exist yet
Yeah.
that are going to exist in the next 6 months around that, which is fascinating because yeah, I don't know what that looks like, the future of that of GLP-1 as well.
I I I I think it's here to stay. Um, I think because of the nature of the drug, you theoretically need to stay on it. Um, forever, from my understanding. And
Hmm.
I think because
That's the
of the
intent. That's the
that's the
intent.
intent,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. And I also think it's readily available. There's a lot of companies making it. And I think because there's going to be so many more consumers on it, because it's not taboo, because it's marketed everywhere, there's going to be a shift in the types of products that come on the market, whether it's geared towards GLP-1 users and pretty much formulated and designed and marketed for a GLP-1 user, or it's like I think one of the reasons we have a lot of protein products out here is one, people want convenience and fitness and whatever. But the other side to GLP-1 is like you need to still get a lot of protein, still
Yeah.
get sustenance, but you want fewer calories. That's why David Bar is like such an interesting premise,
Yeah.
is because it's low, the protein to calorie ratio is so favorable for somebody taking a GLP-1.
What, I was joking about that a little bit with Sturdy Sauce
Yeah.
because their macros for that half cup are better than most protein bars. 160 calories for 20 grams of protein, which is wild
Wait,
because
that is actually essentially what David Bar is,
it's
or
insane. Yeah.
cod.
Or cod.
Or a fillet of cod.
So it
That
also
it,
it just makes me think about like these if you're looking at getting protein into your diet, there's so many different ways to do it, but also like people just go right to the bars and which is fine. Like
it makes
grab your snack, but
sense.
the
Yeah,
calories are often inflated and the fat is inflated so much that you're getting 12 grams of protein for like 260 calories or something. And it's like
I mean,
not worth it. Yeah.
look, there's very poor food education in this country. There's now we're starting to see a lot of nutritionists become influencers, which is great. But there's also a lot of creators who are spewing just wrong food information.
Yeah.
They're talking about, oh, you don't need fortified flour, or you should just cook sea salt. I'm like, okay, I don't want to die. I want my iodine. I want my like whatever all this stuff is fortified with, the vitamin A's and all
Hmm.
these things that like there's a reason like the government is in our food and there's fluoride in our our drinking supplies because it's good for us.
Hmm. I mean, that's what like it's interesting that like Perfect Bar is a great example of like, do you think
Yeah.
of them as I don't feel like they market themselves as a protein bar,
No.
but they have 12 grams for 290 calories. But to me, that's like a bit of an like some of the flavors, of course, are like an indulgence, straight up
Sure.
indulgence. But it's about just like having you know, a bar that is filling. And then, by the way, you happen to get 12 grams of protein. It's like a nice
Yeah.
additive thing. But they're not calling themselves a protein bar, which I think is a great, like,
Yeah. Well, it keeps them in a different set, and I think one of the reasons they've been so successful is kind of maybe because they haven't been calling themselves a
yeah,
protein
yeah.
bar. People think about them differently. It's a different set, it's a different category. And I will say, I always have perfect bars in my fridge because they're filling. Like
They're so
sometimes,
good.
sometimes I just want a snack. I know I don't need a lot of protein because I'm going to get it at my breakfast or my dinner or my lunch. I just need something to hold me over, and it holds you over.
Did you get the koozie?
No. Oh my God.
You freeze this and then you can put your perfect bar right in there.
That's
What an
genius.
innovation. Yeah, I was like, guys,
Genius.
this should be a giveaway on your site. And they're like, we haven't thought about this. Like, I'm like,
What do you-
yes. What? This is amazing. Also,
Oh,
I got the little pin.
I got one of the magnets. I've taken enough pins from these trade shows that I never do anything with them. But the
Yeah, I
magnets I
know.
put on my fridge. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I literally
nice.
had a moment last night where I was looking at these pins thinking, how could they go in the fridge?
So I did like the
Yeah.
flat magnets. I have a bunch of
I
those.
didn't see that. That's great. Cool. Anything else here? We were way over, but we made it through. We're
So
on.
what else did I talk about? What else did I yap about? Oh, I want to talk about liquid salad.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. I apparently they're doing very well. They've only been on market for like 4 months. I talked to the founder. It's very interesting. They're leaning into the high fiber thing as well. I thought it tasted great, for one. I like
I
the
thought it was great
format.
too.
And I'd rather that than a greens powder. This actually feels
Yeah.
more efficacious. It feels more like proper for some reason. And they're shelf stable, which I'm like, if I was an investor, I'd be like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
go
I
off.
uh for anyone watching, so especially if you have kids, the pouches
Oh yeah,
that
it's a
you give
baby
your
pouch.
kids, it's a
Let me
baby
pull up a
pouch.
picture.
But it is loaded with apple, cucumber, kale. It's basically, yeah, it's what it's called, liquid salad. Um,
Is that gonna focus? Wait, let me
no,
hide.
it's not.
No?
If you go to, yeah, if you go to drinkliquidplus.com,
There we go.
there you go, a little better.
We got off camera.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I love how their
Uh,
website is also just a PDP. It's pretty awesome. Very
yeah.
well done. But yeah, I totally agree.
Oh, I also had a savory energy drink.
Oh, interesting.
I look, it tasted fine. Like the taste was there. It it's not what I want. And like when I want an energy drink, I want it in the morning. And I don't want something savory in the morning.
Hmm.
Very rarely. Like if it's savory, it's around eggs. Like the taste of this, and like it's a hot drink too. It's meant to be hot. A hot tomato thing is like
Interesting.
later in the day. It's an evening thing. I don't know. I'd be curious to talk to their team and actually like learn when their consumers are consuming it because it wasn't bad. It's just it's a weird proposition to me.
Yeah, you're trying to change customer behavior for something
Yeah.
like that. Like, is that is it caffeine that's in there?
Yeah, yeah. It's
So are they thinking, because usually you don't want to have caffeine past the afternoon. So is
right.
this like a pick me up for lunch?
Low sodium, a gram of sugar. Yeah, I don't know. I savory tea like they had a couple they had three no four flavors. They had a harvest like a chicken garlic thing, a beet one. I don't remember the other one, but it was like yellow.
Interesting.
It's tough sell for me, and I love energy drinks and I love funky stuff, but that one just
Yeah.
doesn't align the usage with the taste. But I've been proven wrong in the past about things.
I mean, I don't know. It's like it just depends on sometimes I wonder with some of these brands like um what they aspire to create. For something like that, it's like if you have a very specific use case and audience and you want to win there, like great. But if it's to try to get everybody to, stop using energy, to stop going for energy drinks and go for that, like it just feels like a reach. Um, but I don't know. That's what I loved about, I know you wrote about them. They were definitely a highlight. Lupini,
Yeah, oh my
the
God.
frozen pizzas
The fucking
made with
best.
lupini beans. Um, How cool. And like, did you try it? Unbelievable.
Oh, I've tried it many times. I'm a
Okay.
huge fan of that brand.
Okay.
They're here in New York, so I've had it a lot. I bought it. Like I think it's it's hitting the trends in the right way. I think one thing that they do really well is, and I think Smearcase does this really well, and also Chara, who we tried, like the protein comes from the thing itself. Like it's
Hmm.
not added. Like the protein comes from the lupini beans in the dough. Like it doesn't, you're not
Right,
adding
right, right,
whey.
right. It's just how it's made.
It's just how it's made. And I think, uh, look, I love added whey in a lot of things like that. That I don't think that's an issue, but I think the brands that will be winning going forward, especially in the protein space, will be a little bit more au natural, a
Yeah.
little bit less
It
added.
goes back to this clean ingredients thing that we talked about earlier. You're
Right.
still
Well,
just making pizza, you're just making it differently.
right. And I think I think this in particular is because not many people are doing that in the protein
Hmm.
space. I think that's the differentiator. Like Smearcase is differentiating because it's cottage cheese whipped. There you go. Like a protein ice cream. There were some good ones at the show. I've had some good ones outside of the show. It's additive to it, and
Hmm.
I think that becomes a little bit less interesting in the long run. I think Chara, also Greek frozen yogurt. Again, it's just Greek frozen yogurt. I think that's why like yogurt has been sort of on the
Yeah.
ups lately, and
Yep.
why people have been interested in creating yogurt brands because it's
Yep.
the protein just comes from the thing that it is.
Like Yasso, we talked about it last time, but
Yeah,
yeah, they're just frozen yogurt. Or not frozen. I mean frozen yogurt, but Greek yogurt frozen as ice cream.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, what
Everybody
I
knows what Yasso is.
what I thought was cool. I've never seen them at a show though. Have you?
No, no, they don't need to be in a show. They're too
Yeah.
big.
Well, there's a lot of big brands at Expo West and
Yeah, they don't
here,
need to
but
be there
yeah,
either. But
they're just like whatever. What I thought was cool about Lupini, I was doing some research after was, which makes a lot of sense, which is the founder, Damiano's sister has diabetes and did like a test with her and it didn't spike her glucose levels at all. And I was just like, I hadn't thought about that, but like awesome to think about what we're saying here, like changing ingredients. There's all these other effects that you can have, and there's other kind of health
yeah,
issues that you end up solving for without being like, hey, this is a
well,
pizza for diabetics. Like,
right. I, I think the best brands are the ones that don't limit their audience. Like, if this is great for a diabetic consumer, great. Yes, there's a lot of diabetic consumers, but there's mostly consumers who are not. And they can market to that person, but that diabetic consumer will also find that product. I think it's
mhm.
the same thing with like a lot of keto stuff. It's like most consumers don't give a crap, but a keto consumer, they can find that product for themselves. And like I think it's better to make a good product for a wider audience, but also have it perfectly tailored for that specific consumer.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't think the other path that we're talking about here is going anywhere anytime soon, but I think
No, 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 no.
it's really cool to see the true change of the product based on the ingredients. We're seeing that a lot, and I think that's just like a cool
I
way to
think it's
think
great.
about the challenge.
Yeah, like gotta find these ways, new ways to innovate.
Anything else? Anything else on your mind as we close this out? I mean, for anybody that is thinking about going next year, definitely recommend checking it out. If you're in this space, it gives you kind of the exposure to a lot of these early brands and founders, but there was quite a few bigger brands there as well, um, which I thought was cool and got a chance to talk with their teams, which I love. So
Yeah,
I think it's a good mix of that and like a very approachable way. Our partnerships guy, David, partnerships manager, this was his first trade show and he
he
had a
seemed to have a lot
blast.
of fun.
Yeah, he loved it. And I was like, it's actually a great like entry point for him. So if this ends up being your first show, I think that's a great entry into this space as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think this is a great first show for some people. It's like very, again, it's like it's a very accessible show, and I think for the brands too. A lot of the brands that I spoke to seem to have a good show. Maybe it was a little bit slow at times, but like they got the right buyers coming by to make it feel worthwhile for them, which is all that matters. Like as long as you get one or two buyers coming by and they place a PO or they commit to something, like
Yeah,
that's
I
all you need to
saw
make it worth it.
TJX was there, Whole Foods was there, all the big buyers were there too. So
Yeah,
if you're a brand,
big
like
team.
definitely also consider it if you're a brand that fits kind of
Yeah.
the New Hope Network's vision for this show. But cool. Well, good stuff,
Yeah.
Nate. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Always.
And this time we won't be 15 minutes late. We'll figure it out earlier.
Well,
But have a good week, Nate.
thanks
Good week,
everyone.
everybody.